Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10 finale and a little bit of an update on the finale. We have two separate interviews. Well, one's an update and then one's a discussion. Angela Kang gave an update about the finale, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then also Denise Huth on The Talking Dead was talking about what teased the finale and how not everyone will survive, which it's something that I've sort of been pondering because, this is going to be Beta's last stand, his final attack, avenging Alpha, and it only makes sense for not everyone to survive. And we're going to talk a little bit about, who we think will survive and who won't survive. And you guys in the comments down below can let me know your predictions for the finale as well. But with all that being said, obviously spoiler warning in case you haven't been caught up with The Walking Dead. And also, if you are a fan of the show, be sure to subscribe for more content. We're still going to be posting on the channel here. I hope you guys are all doing well during this, pandemic. Just please take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, stay indoors as much as you can. But with all that being said, let's get into this video. Alright, so like I said, we know episode 16 is getting delayed because they couldn't finish post-production. And, that makes sense. You can't be making people work at a time like this. And then also, I'd much rather them, take their time and finish it than deliver an unfinished episode. Because it's a very VFX heavy episode as well because of Beta's entire herd of walkers. They're going to have to do a lot of post-production on that. So it makes sense. And again, it's much better to deliver a finished, complete episode than one that looks a little bit weird, So, but this is exactly what Angela Kang said. She said, actually, we're continuing to work on the future season remotely. Writing, I think, is the easiest process to do remotely. And even that is it's tricky. We're not quite able to work in the same exact pace as we would when we're in the office, but but that's referring to season 11 because they're writing the season right now, obviously. And then she goes on to say, but we're very close to finishing 16. We usually deliver the episodes for big effects heavy episodes about 2 weeks before we air. We were about a week and a half at the point in which California shut down. So a week and a half, they get 2 weeks and they were, through a week and a half. So it's only a couple more days of work. So I think as soon as, everything gets back to normal, hopefully sooner rather than later, we can get this episode pretty quickly. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys an update on that. But again, it's a lot of special effects and stuff like that because it's Beta's herd, and we don't want an episode that just looks super botchy and weird, So they are pretty close to finishing it, which is great news. But the next question talks about Maggie's return, which is awesome. So, like I said, we know Maggie's also returning this episode, which is going to be awesome. I mean, there wasn't, they announced it at Comic-Con, but they haven't really talked about it too much. And then they just dropped that trailer, and then Maggie's back, which is just super awesome. I'm glad we're getting a major character back. We lost Rick, we lost Michonne. Luckily, they're both still alive, so they're going to be in the movies and potentially be in the the end game for The Walking Dead. But it's great to have Maggie back because she is, somebody who's been there since season 2, and we don't really have a lot of those characters left. So what, Daryl and Carol, right? Daryl and Carol are the only ones left from season 1. So, Rick is alive, yeah, but and then we have Maggie from season 2. So it's good having characters like that, who have been there since the beginning. But getting into exactly what Angela Kang said, when asked about Maggie, she said, "We'll see Maggie come into the show, and there's not much I can say without being spoilery. But Maggie is part of the heart of these people's lives. There is so much love for her within our communities, and she was a leader at the time when so much of the leadership at the hilltop had been lost. Even as we're working on season 11, we've got so much great stuff planned for her, so I'm just excited for her to be back in the family and for us to do great stuff with Maggie." So yeah, that's she's back 100%, it looks like, they're working on season 11, they're writing season 11, and she's in season 11, so it's probably in her contract, and it's not like a one episode thing where she returns, and it looks like she's gonna have a pretty big role in season 11, or at least going back to what it was originally, just being the character she is. So that's awesome because, like I said, losing Maggie, or getting Maggie back is great since we're losing some of these other characters. So let me know what you guys think about that. What do you think Maggie's reaction is going to be to all this? And it's going to be interesting to see Maggie fight the Whisperers. And I'm assuming she will because she's back. But like she wasn't there for the beginning. She's probably gonna be like, "What the hell is going on here? Who are these people?" I mean, yeah, they've been sending her letters and stuff, so she knows. But seeing the whispers in the flesh, no pun intended, is just gonna be like a weird experience, I think, for her. So again, let me know what you think about all that. Do you think Maggie's gonna help out in the final fight? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions. But moving on to the next thing, that's from executive producer Denise Huth, and I want to talk a little bit about this with you guys and talk about what we think is gonna happen in the finale in terms of characters and who's gonna survive and who's not gonna survive. Because like she said here, and I'm gonna go ahead and read it first before we get into the discussion. Beta's entire herd, it'll be kind of surprising if everyone survives, but yeah, let's get into this. Alright, so she said, following the attack on Hilltop, they reconvened at a rendezvous point, and clearly things have happened. A little bit of time has passed and they've come up with a plan. We don't necessarily know what the plan is, Huth said on Talking Dead. You definitely get the sense that they're preparing for an attack to come. They know it's coming, and how can they solve the problem of this giant horde? Beta is one thing, he's one man. Those thousands of walkers are a whole different deal. A lot were killed in the fire at the Hilltop, but he still has a bunch. And we saw in the previous episode he's gathering even more. So yeah, we saw like they were headed for the hospital at the end of the episode, so that's pretty intense. She goes on to say, we're seeing the survivors more together. It's clear that they have some sort of plan, but there's still that fear, Huth said. There's still the knowledge that this is tricky and that once again, maybe not everyone is going to get out alive. Alright, so obviously as executive producer, she probably knows what's going to happen. And hers, obviously she wouldn't say, like, this is like, you gotta take everything they say with a grain of salt, because her saying that maybe not everyone's just gonna survive, obviously she's not gonna say like, yeah, everyone's gonna survive. So she's putting, she's giving, that telling us that the stakes are high, which I actually think they are high, that she's not just saying it. Because okay, first of all, the season 10 finale is also titled A Certain Doom, and we saw Beta's herd. This is the finale. And yeah, I think it'll be nice for everyone to survive, but if you kind of think about it in the grand scheme of things, like, everyone just surviving would just make Beta's entire thing pointless. And yes, I guess it is the final battle, so you can just say, yeah, they beat Beta and they move on, but I feel like there will be some casualties. Let me know what you guys think. I hate to be negative, but I mean, I just feel like story-wise it'll only make sense, because everyone surviving that would just be a little bit unrealistic. And we saw in the trailer how they're going out. They're doing the Walker Guts method, and some of them have masks, and I think that's also very important, because some of them have masks on, and we saw that. Like I think Kelly was the one putting on a mask, and then there was that shot of Luke, who was just, and Daryl and some of the other characters had only just those sheets on. Like, remember how Glenn and Rick did it in season 1? They had their sheets on and they were just putting the Walker Guts on top of them, and they were walking through that herd. And this is like probably it's not like a herd in season 1. That wasn't even a herd. They were just walking through the streets. And then in season 6 they did the same thing, and that was a pretty big herd, but nowhere near as big as this herd. So, and there's kids. Remember, there's a lot of kids there, because everyone is there. Everyone left Alexandria. The Hilltop is gone. The kingdom is gone. So everyone right now is together for the most part. And there's a lot of kids in these communities too. And I just can't help but think of Sam in season 6 when he screamed and his entire family got eaten. That really sucked. But let me know what you guys think. Obviously, like, some of the main characters like Daryl and Carol, like, I don't think they're gonna die. They're gonna be okay. Like Judith, she's gonna be good. But some of these secondary characters, like, I like Luke a lot, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up dying. Same thing with Gabriel. Like, I like Gabriel, and he's getting a lot of screen time. We saw the opening minutes in the trailer. Like, he's being like a leader there. He's guiding everybody and just being a leader. So I wouldn't be surprised if he puts others first and ends up dying. But let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know who you think will survive and who don't you think will survive, or do you think everyone will survive? Because again, like I said, that everyone surviving will be a little bit like weird, since there's a big herd and this is the final battle. I feel like there should be some casualties, but at the same time, it's the final battle, so maybe they just become victorious, because they have taken a lot of losses with the Whisperers. We have to be honest, like, a lot of losses. So I still think everyone surviving is not out of the question, but I'm leaning more towards there will be some casualties. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree or disagree with that? I know if they're like, you know, navigating through the herd and one person gets bitten, they all have to like stay calm. They can't just freak out, because like going back to that Sam example in season 6, like we saw what happened when they freaked out. So that would definitely like just make the episode way more tense. Like imagine them navigating through the walker herd, and then somebody gets bitten or something. Like everyone just has to be quiet and deal with it. It's gonna be a really intense episode, I think. But again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the Maggie thing as well, and what do you think she's going to be doing in this episode. But as far as this video goes, I am going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. And again, for more Walking Dead videos just like this, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.